Okay, so here we have our cabin here, our cabin out in the mountains, and wanted to try to put some solar panels up on the roof. Let's take a look here. And I wanted to put it up there and not permanently mount it, because I wanted to maybe change the roof or fix it, and I was trying to figure out a way to stick it up there that would stop it from blowing off when you get the high winds up here, and so I could go up and change things or change the roof if I wanted. And so I was thinking about putting some eye loops into the sides and running cables across, and then fastening the solar panel to these cables, and then I could take it off the cables, but it would be probably strong enough to hold it on with the winds, and then I could get some electricity up into the cabin up here. Okay, so let's get out the ladders and we'll climb up and take a look and see if we can get this project going. Okay, I've got our cordless drill here because there's no electricity out here, and I charged the battery up last night. And I got a bunch of drill bits, and I want to find a drill bit that's undersized. I don't want to drill it too big because then the threads won't catch. Okay, maybe that's a good size right there. Get a drill bit that's undersized, and we'll stick it into our chuck and try drilling some holes to put these loops in place, which will hold the cable up across the roof. Okay, we'll see how that works. Okay, so here's where I'm going to try to put it up. I got the ladder up in place. I just wanted to measure over about how many slats. I didn't bring a ruler. I got to drill the screw holes. See, there's a screw hole there. I'm going to attach it to the cable, and there's another one over here. And so that's about about 3.5 to get the same slope as the roof up there. So about 3.5 slats. I'll try to drill a couple holes up here to put the eye loops in. We'll see how that goes. Oh yeah, and this is the front of the solar panel, and this is the back where the screw holes are. I meant to get some eye loops to screw into these holes, but I didn't get any, so maybe I'll just use zip ties for now. Zip ties are pretty strong. You can take them off by cutting them, and they're cheap. Okay. Okay, so we got a drill bit here. Came over a couple spaces, and we'll try drilling here. Try drilling a hole. There should be a 2x4 behind there, so we can drill a hole into that and put our eye loops in. And I'll get this hole going and a second hole, and then I'll try to get the eye loops put into place. Okay, long ways down, huh? Okay, so we got our first hole in place, and I'll count over about 1, 2, 3.5, and we'll try another, keep it down about 1 inch or so. We'll try drilling another hole right about here. That should be about the right spacing to mount the solar panel up there. If I keep it close to the top, I should still hit the 2x4 under there. So we'll give this a shot. Okay, we got our solar panel here. That looks like the bolt holes there and there also are lining up pretty good with the holes in the solar panel. So we should be able to mount this on cables at that distance. Okay, so let me get the screw eye holes in here, then we'll go drill the other side and get the cables up. Okay. Okay, so here's our hole, and here's our eye loop. Looks like the eye loop fits in the hole pretty nicely. Okay. And I also will screw that in. I brought a screwdriver here to help tighten this thing up in case, well, we put a lot more torque on it with a big lever arm like that. So the eye loops are right under the roof. I'll get the other one in over here also. Get them both tightened up, and then we'll go work on the other side. And maybe we'll be able to mount the solar panel. Okay. Okay, so I guess maybe before I move over to the other side, I will attach the cables here as long as I got the ladder up on that side. And here's some loopy things that you use with these cables to basically fasten them at each end. You loop the cable around this little horseshoe thing, and then you use these U-clamps to fasten the cable down. Let me open this thing up. We'll get the cable out of here and we'll take a look at this. Okay, I got the cable out of the box, and it looks like it's got some zip ties, and unfortunately I have to bring everything I need with me out here, and if I forget anything, I was looking around for some snips, I couldn't find any, so let's try. I have a knife, and I guess that cuts the zip ties equally as well. Looks like the thing's going to spring out all over the place as soon as I cut this second zip tie. Come on. There we go. Okay, so here's our cable. God, it is springing all over the place. Okay, and we'll open up these clamp things and demonstrate how we put those together. And I did fortunately bring a nice rusty old crescent wrench to try to tighten those things down with. Okay, yeah, I can open it while I'm resting the camera on my knee here. That's the great thing about fisheye cameras. Okay, and so we have these little clamps here and these little U-shaped things, and so the idea is we'll take the cable and loop it around these U-shaped things and back onto itself, like so. So it's wrapped around it tight, and then we'll fasten this U-clamp thing around the cable. Okay. And then we'll be able to fasten the cable at both sides and keep it in position. Okay. Okay, so here we have our eye loop and our U-shaped thing, and we'll get that through there. And then we'll get our cable wrapped through there as well. Just bring it down. I have this little U-shaped clamp right here. I'm going to put that over the cable. Let me do that. I'll show you how that goes. We have a U-shaped clamp. I'll put it over both the cables like so. And then I take this clamp thing. Okay. And I stick it over it like that, and there's two nut holes and two bolt holes there where I can stick nuts on. I got my nuts down here, and I'm just going to fasten this whole thing up around this U-shaped thing, and then that will hold the cable in place. So let me get that going. Okay, so here we go. We got our nuts on there, and I'll just tighten this noose up around this thing. Okay, there we go. And so then I'll get my crescent wrench out, and I can't do that with, I have to put the camera down for a second, and I'll just put this clamp on, tighten it up like that, tighten these bolts with the crescent wrench, and then I'll put a couple more clamps on and make sure it holds in place down below it, and we'll be all set. Okay, so here we got our crescent wrench, and we can tighten these nuts up here like so. I got the first one on, and I'll just add a couple more down here, and then it should be secured. And I'll put the other one on the other side over here, and I think we'll be able to go over to the other side of the building and start working on the loops over there then. Okay, so we got both of the eye loops in and all these little fasteners on here, and so now I'm trying to take this cable, both of them, and get it across the roof. We got our cable here. Throw that over to the other side or something, and then we'll twist it up here. We got a cable. Let's see if we can throw it across the roof. Try to get it across the other side, and then we'll start working on the other side over there. Okay. May have to walk across the roof, but it's kind of wet, so I'm a little bit worried about that. Well, let's get the other side all taken care of though. Get the eye loops in and We can hook the cables up once we string them across. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We got the wires on the other side connected now, and I'm going to try to put the solar panel up there, and then maybe make some connectors so I can run some wires through here in the wall and run the power on the inside so we can have electricity inside from the solar panels. Okay, let's get down from here, I guess. Okay, so here we go. We're getting up on the roof. And here's our solar panel, and there's our wires up there. I'll try to mount this to the wires. Let me get up there. It's a little bit dangerous climbing on the roof, so I gotta put the camera down while I do this. Okay, so here we are, and I just gonna look at the back of the solar panel before I put it up here. Looks like it's about 18 volts operation, 25 watts max. Open circuit is 21 volts. Okay, and short circuit is 1.49 amps. And here's our wires up here. I'm gonna maybe mount it upside down so that the wire is going to be a little bit lower, so I can find a lower place to drill into the side of the shed here. And well, let's take a look here. Okay, I didn't get any loops or anything to hook it onto the wires, but I did bring these along. Zip ties, the most amazing invention of the 21st century. And I believe here I can fit these zip ties through these holes, and okay, let me populate the four corners here with the zip ties, and I'll use these zip ties to fasten it to these wires so the wind doesn't blow it off, and it'll be a nice way if I need to work on the roof or something, because it's a tar paper roof. If I want to put a new roof on it, then I should be able to take these wires down temporarily and work on the roof and then put it back up without too much hassle. Okay. Okay, so here, let's put our solar panel down, and I'll start hooking those zip ties up. I got the zip tie under here. Let me loop it around the wire here, and then get it fastened onto itself, like so. Let me get the first one in. So I don't want the solar panel to slip off the roof here. Okay, and I think I'm going to go around and fasten all the rest of the zip ties and tighten them up, and we'll be able to keep the solar panel on the roof. Might need to tighten these cables. I probably should have put some turnbuckles in these, but I'm not sure how I would do that. Maybe need to put some chains up or something, and then turnbuckles. So I might need to modify the design a little bit, because if I had turnbuckles in there, I could tighten up the slack on these ropes easily, or these cables easily, without pulling like hell on them. Okay. Okay, so there we go. I got it zip tied on. Let me move this over to the edge over here, because I'm going to try to run the wires to the side. I got the wires kind of over here, so I can flop them over the edge and find a good place to drill into the side of the building to put some feed-throughs in. And there we go, our removable solar panels. Just using these cables to hold them up. What I might do is put some chains or something on one end and put some turnbuckles so I can tighten them up, because I'd like to maybe have these cables a little bit tighter. The turnbuckles should be good at tightening that up. Okay, I think it should stay up here. It should be fine. Okay, very beautiful, huh? Even out here, people are mowing their frickin' lawns. Even out here, people are mowing their frickin' lawns, huh? Okay. So now we'll have power to our cabin in the mountains. Okay, there we go. There's our solar panel up there. Okay. Looking pretty nice. Let me try to run some wires on the inside and we'll get this thing running. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to try to put some turnbuckles that take out the slack in our cable. And here's our cable, and rather than doing the same things I've done before, I think I might just simply cut a loop in it, cut a section off and make it into a loop, make a couple loops, and then use that to fasten the turnbuckles on. So I got some tin snips here. It's kind of working if I go slow. A pair of dikes might be better. Let me cut this in half and look at the other part cut, and we'll see how that works. Okay, I had an idea just to try to make a simple loop thing to put the cable up on the roof so I could put a turnbuckle on a flat area, because there's not enough area here to put a turnbuckle before it goes around the corner. And then I could tighten up the cable, so I'm probably going to undo this here and then tighten that up, and then use a turnbuckle to tighten up the cable so that there's not a lot of slack. If you look up on the roof right now, there's kind of a lot of slack in the cables as they go across the roof, and I just like to tighten that up. So I did both sides here, put a turnbuckle on that side, and I'm going to release these loops up here and hook them into the other end of the turnbuckle on the roof, and then we'll be able to tighten it up. And we should be able to take it apart easier also, because you should just be able to take the turnbuckle apart in the center, and that will be easier than undoing all this bolts and stuff. Okay, so we got our turnbuckles up here and through those loops. I'm going to pull these cables back here and stick it through there, through the loop in the turnbuckle. Get those hooked up, and we'll tighten it up. And then we can use the turnbuckles to tighten it up very tight. Keep solar panels up on the roof. Okay. Okay, there. I have it hooked into the turnbuckle and looped over the edge of the building. And now all I have to do is twist the turnbuckle like so. I guess it's the other way. And we can tighten up this cable and get it very tight all the way over to the solar panel. I just need to do the top one. We have both tightened up, and it should be easy to take this off again if I ever need to take this off the roof to work on the roof or something. And so looks like we're making pretty good progress. Okay, there we go. I have the turnbuckles on the top and the bottom on and tightened up. And see, this is tighter than I could ever hold it, pull it, and tighten up those nuts. So it looks like we're good to go. Okay, well, let's get back down and hook up the electrical, and our solar project should be done. Okay, we have our drill up here, and here we have the wires coming off the roof. I'm just going to pick a spot. I want to kind of put the feed throughs in these indents. I know before it was a real hassle drilling through this. Maybe it's because I had a dull drill bit, but I think I'd rather just drill a small hole, tell me about where the feed throughs are going to have to go. It's thinner in this area also, so it's easy to do feed throughs here. And then I can drill the second hole. I'll show you. I have some banana jack feed throughs I want to try to put up here, but I can drill the holes from the inside once I get one reference hole put in place. Okay, so let's go on the inside and we'll try to work on this. Okay, here we are up in the attic of our shed, and I think, yeah, I can see the hole where I drilled through, and I have this kind of cool device. It's a light switch that just runs on batteries, and here's my BNC feed throughs. So let's try to find the right drill size to stick that through our hole here, and we'll drill another one below it, and hopefully this feed through will allow us to have a nice electrical feed through to the outside that we can do stuff with, like hook up our solar panels to. Okay, so here's a drill bit here. It looks like it's about the right size. I took our banana jack feed throughs apart, and let's just try putting this in our drill here, and we'll drill a hole through that guy. We'll bore out that diameter. Okay. See how that goes. I'm not sure if this is the dull drill bit or not that I used before. It's about the right size that I need. So it might take a little while, so let me try drilling on that. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm going to use this other plate as to measure the distance for the other screw. See, I took this first one. Oh, let's see. Let's just show you what I did. See, there's a hole there, and I took this, and it just barely fits. I went with the next size smaller drill because it wasn't so dull, and it seems to actually fit better. And let's just drill another hole right about where that screw belongs. And there we have 2 holes all ready to put our feed-throughs through. Okay, should be interesting. Okay, here's our holes. It looks like the bottom one's a little bit crooked, so maybe I'll redraw that or re-drill it. Let's just try screwing these things in. Screw the top one in. Get that going, and I might redo the bottom one, and then I think we'll be all set to run the wires through. Okay, let me work on that. I'm going to re-drill the bottom one and try to screw that in and put the bolt on the back side. Okay, I don't want to fall, so I'm going to put the camera down. It's quite a ways down. Okay, there we go. I have them both fastened in, screwed in. I'm going to have to screw in the backs of them now, so I can put the nuts on the back so they don't fall out. And then we'll try to hook up the antenna or the solar panel to it, so we'll get power inside. Okay. Okay, so now we're back inside, and let's try putting our nuts on the end of these guys here, so they don't pull out. Right. Don't want to pull out, right? That would be always bad when something pulls out. Okay. Especially if you don't want it to. Okay, so we'll tighten this up, and then maybe we'll hook up the power leads to the solar panel to this, and there we go. See if we get power on the inside here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's just screw these things out, and there should be like a hole in them someplace. And we can take the leads from our solar panel, stick it in the hole, if I can find the hole. Oh. Okay, so we get it in the hole, and we can tighten this guy up, and it'll make electrical connection and hold the wires in place. And we'll do that with the bottom one too. I can find the hole. I think it's over here. Okay. And there we go. So we should take our voltmeter on the inside and see if we can measure voltage now. Should be interesting. Okay. Okay, there we go. Got our wires hooked up to the feed-throughs. Okay, so we have the clip leads hooked up, or the clip leads hooked up to our feed-throughs, and we got those. So we're going to do the clip lead test. Got them hooked up to the voltmeter here. It looks like we're getting about 21.65 volts, basically 21.7 volts. So that's about what the open circuit voltage should be. So it looks like we're doing pretty good. Okay, so looks like we can move on to the next step. Okay, so now we're back up here with the solar panel feed-throughs inside, and I hooked up the solar charger to the battery, which is the first step, and it's telling me that it's reading 12.9 volts. Okay, and it's discharging right now. And the next step we're going to do is hook up, see, the battery hooks up there, and the solar panel hooks up there. So I'm going to run some wires over to hook up the solar panel next. Okay. Okay, so now we got our solar panel wires hooked in there, and watch what happens when we hook up. I'm going to hook up the solar panel clip leads from the feed-throughs on the input here. Hook that guy up, and as soon as I do, you see that little solar panel icon came on, and it says it's now charging. Okay, so now we're charging our battery, and so it looks like the system is fully operational now. Okay, and next thing we're going to do is hook it up to the inverter over here. And I just have clip leads right now, but I'm going to have to replace them with heavy-duty wires, and then we'll be able to get power out of this thing. Okay, so here we got our inverter, the battery, the charger, the leads in from the solar cell, and let's just hook up I just have clip leads, but I really need to put bigger wires. This is just to test it out. And there we go. Our inverter is on. So why don't we try plugging in. I don't know. This, all I have with me right now is a phone charger. And let's see if we can charge our phone. Maybe it's the wrong way. Okay, there. And look at that. It says we are charging. Okay. So here is our our cabin in the woods solar panel power system, wireless or off the grid, not wireless but off the grid, and I think we're all set to have some power next time the power's out. Don't have to pay they wanted to charge me like $10 a month just to have the electricity hooked up, even if I don't use it. So now I'm going to have free electricity to charge my phone, put lamps in here, or run mad scientist experiments or whatever. Okay, anyway. There's how you can install solar panels on your roof. And this is Dr. Janes, and thanks for watching.